Hey guys, welcome back to Raw Yoga with me, Ruth Steele and Banksy and Bruce in the background. Today's class is going to be a great hamstring opener, strengthener for the glutes. It's also going to work on a little bit of balance. So thank you so much for joining me. Hop into something comfortable and let's get started. We will do a little bit of warming up, but if you want a more thorough warm up, then please enjoy one of my 20-minute sun salutations to really mobilize through the body. Otherwise, we're going to start at the front of our mat, feet together, relaxing the shoulders back. You can take some shoulder rolls back, some shoulder rolls forwards if you need it, and just try and, oh, Bentsy's starting already. We'll inhale, bring the arms up. As we exhale, fold forwards. You can keep the feet together or you can separate them here, hip width. Let's bend the knees plenty and hold elbow to elbow, just ragdolling now. Really relaxing through the neck, and if you need to take the finger and thumb and give yourself a little self-massage just to really relax in the neck, then great. 2 more breaths here in our ragdoll. Good, lowering the hands down now, stepping back through our plank. We'll take a vinyasa down here as we chaturanga down. Nice and slowly, elbows squeezing ribs. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Elbows nice and soft, pull the heart through. And exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Let's have 5 breaths here to begin with. Nice soft knees, length in the spine. Pushing away with the shoulders, gripping with the fingertips. So much is going on in our downward dog. And you can pedal through the legs if you need to. Come up and down onto the tiptoes. You can come side to side with the bum. Find those juicy side stretches. Whatever you need, it's all good. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg. As we exhale, step it through between the hands. And we're going to lift up to our lunge, but make sure you've got a nice bend in the back leg. Instead of thinking of tucking the tailbone here, just think about nipping the bottom ribs towards the hips, and that's going to put our pelvis in the correct position for a nice opening through that hip flexor. A nice safe lunge here, shoulders away from ears, but relax the side of your neck. In our lunge, we're going to inhale, look up to the hands, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the elbows down towards our tummy buttons, shift the weight forward and step onto that front leg, send everything out behind us to our warrior 3. Inhale, coming up to center now, lift that left knee towards the chest. And we're crossing left leg over right now. We've got left leg over right and left arm under the right arm. So left leg over, left arm under as we come into our eagle pose. Sink the bottom down, lift the elbows on your inhale, opening through the back of the shoulders. Good, inhale, unwrap your eagle now. Lift left knee towards chest. And as you exhale, send it back through that warrior 3. Reach the toes back, coming back into our lunge, arms up. Good. Now we're going to keep continuing to do this. Inhale, elbows towards tummy, shift the weight forward, step onto it, find your warrior. Coming up now, left knee towards chest on an inhale. Exhale, cross left leg over, left arm under, eagle. On your inhale, the elbows start reaching up towards the sky, open the back of the shoulders. On a next inhale, come out of that eagle, lift everything. We're grounding down through the feet and up through the fingers and knee, and then send it back. Whoop. If you have a little wobble like me, just embrace it. Send it back through that warrior, reach the back toes long, coming back into our lunge. Keep going, nice. Exhale, step onto that front foot forwards. Inhale, reach the left knee to the chest. Exhale, crossing left leg over, coming into our eagle pose. If you're wobbling about all over the place, it's all good. Notice what happens, what lessons we learn. And we've all been there. The balance changes every single day, depending on if you've slept enough, what you've eaten. Inhale, release, send it back to our warrior. Step those toes long, come back into your lunge. That's good, twice more on this side. Step onto it, warrior three. Lifting up, knee towards chest. Crossing over our warrior eagle even. You know what I mean. Lifting elbows to ceiling. When you're ready, release, knee to chest. Send it back to a warrior three. Reach the back toes long, coming into a lunge. Last time here, step onto it, warrior three. Fly, baby, you got it. Bring that left knee to chest. Crossing over now, eagle pose. And you should be feeling a nice warming sensation into that right side of the hip and glute. Lift, lift, lift back up now, knee towards chest. Fire up that glute. Send it back into our warrior. Step the back toes long into our lunge. And bring the hands down either side of that front foot. Let's take it back through a vinyasa here. Chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And right about now, maybe this downward facing dog's feeling really imbalanced because we've done all that work on one side. So just notice. Making little adjustments. Noticing what happens in the body. Good, when you're ready. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through between the hands. We come up to our lunge this side. Nice generous bend in the back leg. We can forget about nipping bottom ribs in towards hip flexors so that we've got safe alignment and a neutral alignment in that pelvis. Find grounding through the toes here and length through the arms and upper body. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, think about drawing elbows towards tummy button, shifting the weight forward, stepping onto that left leg into our warrior three. Powerful warriors, you got it. Inhale, right knee lifts towards chest. As we exhale, this time we're going to cross the right leg over the left and the right arm under the left. So it's always in opposition, right leg over, right arm under, into our eagle pose. Inhale, lift the elbows towards the ceiling now, finding a little more space in the back of those shoulder blades. Inhale, unwind and release, knees toward chest. Exhale, send it back to warrior three. Reach the back toes long, coming into that lunge. Connect to the breath, inhale. Exhale, step onto it, warrior three. Be loud, be proud with the breath. Inhale, knee towards chest. Exhale, cross it over, right leg over, right arm under, eagle pose. Inhale, uncross. Exhale, send it back, warrior three. Step onto it, lunge, inhale, lengthen. Let's keep going, exhale, step onto it, warrior three. You can have a healthy bend in that leg. Inhale, reach it up, knee towards chest. Exhale, eagle. Sit the bum back. Lengthen the elbows and fingertips to ceiling. Unwind now, inhale. Exhale, send it back. Warrior three, you are a warrior. Reach, reach, reach those back toes and lunge. Exhale, step onto it. Warrior three, embrace those wobbles. Lifting up, inhale. Exhale, having tension through your whole body. Everything is firing up and working, connecting as one. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, send it back. Step onto it, lunge. If you're starting to feel that heating sensation in the left glutes, great, you're doing it right. Step onto it. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, eagle. If you don't like this pace, you can go slower or quicker, whatever works for you guys. This is your practice. I'm just leading with suggestion. Reach those back toes, coming into that lunge. Let's go one small step onto a warrior three. Lift the knee to chest. Cross over into our eagle. Nice and controlled, gazing towards the thumbs. As if in slow motion now, let's unwind. Bring the right knee towards chest. Send it back as if in slow motion. Oh yeah, feel everything quivering, firing up. Reach, reach, reach those back toes long. Come back into a lunge. Excellent, handstand either side of that front foot. Step back to our plank. Take the vinyasa here. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. And let's take now knees to the ground. Bum to heels. Child's pose. Let it go. Rest the forehead down. Good. Slowly from here, lifting the torso. We're going to lengthen a little bit more through the back of our hamstrings. So for this next bit, you're going to need something to lean on, whether that's a wall, a sofa. I'm going to use the sofa here. So find something now, and we're going to make our way back into that rag doll. So nice bent knees, holding elbow to elbow, and just rag dolling here, shaking out through the hips. If your hamstrings feel open, you can start to straighten the legs, but until that feels more comfortable, don't worry about having the legs straight, just focus on letting go, ragdolling. Okay, now, coming to connect with the wall or the sofa or whatever it is you're using as a prop, we're going to connect this bit of our upper back and between the shoulder blades, connect it with the surface. If you need to place your hands on the ground first, just to find that connection, because as soon as we found it, then we can let go of the fear, it's all good. Then once more, connect elbow to elbow, and just really settle that upper back into the surface. Breathe. Once you're comfortable, maybe try bending the right knee towards the right armpit and just straightening maybe the left leg. You can repeat this both sides, and we really do find extra lengthening here in the hamstrings because we can just let go of the upper body, relax in the neck completely. So maybe pedaling the legs is for you, maybe bending the legs on an inhale and straightening the legs on an exhale is for you. Wherever you're at, it's all good. If you want some more experimenting here, you could try turning the big toes out and the heels towards each other. This lengthens in a slightly different way. And similarly to that, you could turn the big toes inwards slightly and the heels out. And notice what this does in the hamstrings. And maybe whilst in this ragdoll, you might find something new for you in your practice that you might apply to, say, a downward dog. I found with my hips that if I slightly do point those toes inwards, it's almost as if we create a bit more space in the lower tummy and around the hip flexors, just to really lengthen the spine all the way down to the base of the spine. So that's just me, but toy around with whatever works for you here. If you're a little more advanced in your practice and you want to work on a bit of compression now, if you're starting to feel a bit more release through the legs, then you can always keep connecting that upper back, stay relaxed in the neck, as you inhale onto tiptoes, compressing in those hip flexors, and exhale down, heels down. Inhale onto the tiptoes. Think about bringing chest towards thighs as well. Exhale down, inhale tiptoes. Exhale down, inhale tiptoes. Exhale down. And if you're learning handstands, and if it's one of your goals like me to eventually get your press to handstand, this can be a really nice drill for, again, finding that compression, which we do in a forward fold and which you would do here by pressing the ground away and really bringing chest towards shins in order to eventually be able to push into a press, which you can see if you're using a sofa and getting used to that upper back being connected. Maybe you want to toy around with compressing and pushing into the hands, seeing if you can use the sofa for a little bit of compression towards your inversions here. But wherever you are, it's not important. Just one more big breath. Let it go. Good. Then make your way back down to our mat, coming down to the shins, and just child's pose here with a narrow leg and arms down by the sides. Big breath. Relax the hip flexors. Lift the torso back to center now, and just with a straight spine. We'll take a quick counter pose here, coming onto the knees, making sure that legs are hip width. Bring the hands to the lower back, fingers facing upwards if you can. And inhale, reach your heart towards the ceiling, and think about lifting up rather than pushing the hips forwards. Let's lift up, and maybe this is enough. Breathe here. Enjoy that sensation opening in the front body. Keep the breath flowing. If the breath is held, then that's your indication you're a little bit too far into a pose, and it's better to practice honesty and just come out a little bit. When you're ready, settle bum back towards heels. Take a break here. It's important whenever we're forward folding and backward bending that we do take a moment just to breathe with a neutral spine in between. If you think about the way a paperclip works, if we were to bend it all the way one way and then all the way the other way again and again and again and again, we're weakening that joint in the middle. So that's what's happening when we're taking a few breaths in a neutral spine. We're just taking that time to reset so that we're not weakening the body. We're finding that strength in between and that depth of movement wherever we're at, with control and with strength, which is so important. Here we go again. Come back up onto the knees. Inhale, hands on the lower back, and lift the heart. Maybe you want to settle the feet back, the hands back to the feet if they'll go. And if not, don't worry, just stay exactly where you are. Breathing in our camel pose here, any variation. Lift the heart to the ceiling most importantly, and then start to push the hips forwards, making sure the knees stay hip width. One more big breath here. And as we exhale, slowly lift. Bring the bum back towards the heels. Hands to heart center or resting on the thighs. Take a breath. One more deep breath, sighing out. Good. Coming forwards now, walk the hands. Inhale, exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we're going to step the right foot behind the left wrist and then drop the right knee behind the right wrist. Now, ideally, try and get that front right shin in line with the front of your mat. That heel is going to want to tuck towards the pelvis here, but keep adjusting it back so we can try and find a straight line with that front shin, and pull your right toes towards your right knee. So we're flexing that foot, so we've got loads of activation here through our pigeon pose. The left knee lowers down. If your bottom is a long way off the floor here, please use a cushion or a block or anything you need underneath. And you can stay here, and we're going to try and activate finding strength through the glutes, the hips, and the lower back. So if you need to come forwards a little bit, that's fine. If you haven't got the strength in the back yet, you can come forwards with a straight spine. Coming onto the fingertips now with spider hands. Keep flexing that right foot and see if you can just lift the left hand off the mat. Breathe. Lower down, let's lift the right hand. Maybe you're feeling okay and you can lift both, and you can even come towards the center with the chest. If you're just here and you need to lower them down to release, lift to strengthen, lower to release, then just work on that wherever you're at. Work with the breath and be patient and kind to yourselves. If you're feeling a little more open in the body, then maybe now's the time to correct that heel if it's coming back and find a bit more space. And again, if you're living in a more open body, maybe you want to work your pigeon pose with some more strength by inhaling and reaching up, exhaling, coming forwards. Inhale, reach up. I always feel a little bit like Black Swan when I'm doing this. Exhale, come forwards. Keep squaring the hips and pushing that left hip down towards the ground. Exhale, come forwards. Inhale, reach it up. Last one. Exhale, come forwards wherever you're at. You can be on straight arms, you can be elbows down, it's all good. Let's find some rest now and try and just let go of anything that you can at the back of the right hip there. We've done a lot of strengthening and balancing work, so you deserve it to try and surrender and let go. And we're here for 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly come back onto the hands. Tuck those back toes and just shift the weight forwards onto all fours so that we can shimmy out the hips. Just shake it out like you had a big tail feather here. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the left foot now. Flex that ankle to start with and step it behind the right wrist. Then lower the left knee behind the left wrist. You'll notice how different this side of the body feels now we've let go on the right. And again, if that bottom is way off the floor, just tuck as many blocks as you need, or you can stay here in this position and work with coming onto spider hands and those steps we did before. So repeating the same thing this side, wherever you're at. If you need to come forwards, that's fine. If you can stay central, that's great too. And just the same thing. Inhale, lift off the right hand. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift off the left hand. Lower down. If you're lifting both hands, great. You're strengthening through the lower back and hips. And if you're feeling in a few breaths time like you're wanting to find your black swan, why not? So we inhale, reach and pull your heart towards the sky. Exhale, come forward, strengthening through the back of the hips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Remember, wherever you're at, it's all good. Even if you're just here and you're inhale, lifting the hands and everything's squeezing, it takes a while to get used to everything squeezing and strengthening. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. And exhale. Relax either on straight arms or lowering the elbows. And maybe now's the time, if that foot's creeping back, that pesky foot, then realign and find a straightness in the shin. Keep encouraging the front of the right hip flexor down towards the ground. And now is the time to let go of all those muscles that were just firing up and squeezing. Just surrender. Doing your best to let go and embrace this discomfort, which is essential for us finding growth. And we're here for 10. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, coming back onto the hands, tuck that back toe, shimmy the right leg back in so that we can step the left leg back to all fours and just shake out the tail feather now. Shake it out. We're going to cross over the back legs or swing the legs round or come through to a seated position. Hug the knees into the chest here. And as you exhale, we're going to lower all the way down with control to our mats. You can hug the knees into the chest and then place the feet down on the ground, arms out to the side, and just windscreen wipe the legs here. Let the knees knock side to side. Come back to deep breaths. And take Shavasana, lengthening out the legs. Shimmying the shoulders underneath you. If you have a block by your side and you prefer to place the block under your lower back and bring the legs up in the air, so that this is a type of inversion where we're lifting our heart overhead still, and you could practice a seaweed legs here. I love the seaweed legs. So many health benefits of this, which is essentially legs up the wall pose but with a little elevation. So if you want to take this as your Shavasana, please feel free. Otherwise you can keep the legs out long, whatever's working for you right now. It's all good. Come back to the breath. And we're just going to count 1 to 10. Inhale 1. Exhale 2. And so on, just from 1 to 10. By all means, stay here longer if you have the time. Otherwise, let's start bringing a little movement back into the fingers and toes. If your legs are elevated, just slowly bring them down with control and move your block to the side. Rolling on to whichever side is best for you, taking a few breaths here in transition before making your way back to a comfortable seated position. Lengthening through the spine, grounding down through the hips. Bring your hands to heart center and really thank yourselves for spending your time on the mat today, on your self-work, self-love, compassion, kindness to yourself. So thank you so much for joining me for this class. Well done. If you like this video, then please hit that like button and subscribe, because essentially that's what really helps me to be able to keep on sharing free yoga with the people who perhaps are unable to afford a class or something to help their mental health and well-being. So please show your support and subscribe, and feel free to share this video as well with those people that you know are having a few problems with pain, with mental health. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you again in the next one. Namaste.